Hi everyone, welcome back to this microservices series. This is the second module or second episode, which is anatomy of the microservices, where we will look into the core building blocks of the microservices, how services discover each other, how requests flow through API gateways, and how services communicate with each other. Right. So this will be episode 2.1, where we are going to discuss about the service discovery with Eureka. So if you ever wonder how microservices even find each other in a large system, then by end of this video we will get the answer of that, right? So let's get started with the video. Service discovery with Eureka. How does one service know where another one lives, right? So in a microservices world, we often have multiple services running, sometimes on a different machines, on a different container, or even in a dynamic environment like Kubernetes, right? So the biggest question is, how does one service know where another one lives? Because you cannot hardcore IPs or URLs, because those might be changing at any time, right? So that's where the service discovery comes into the picture. In the image you can see there is one Eureka server. So Eureka is nothing but service discovery, which is powered by Netflix. There is a package of by Netflix on Maven. So that is a Eureka server, and these Eureka clients are nothing but your microservices which are registered in the service discovery of the Eureka server, right? So let's get to the next slide. Okay, so take one example of phone directory. Like, instead of memorizing everyone's number, you just look up to their name, right? So this is the name of this person, and you can get the information about their phone number, right? So Eureka acts like that only, a registry of all your services, and services register themselves with Eureka, and others can discover them using the Eureka, right? So like in the image you can see there is service A, B, C are there, right? And those are registered in this service registry. So if I want to know about service A, I just go to the service registry, and from that service registry I will get all the information about service A. So that's about how service discovery works. So yeah, let's see how Eureka works. uh, each service registers itself with Eureka server. As we have discussed, all the services are registered in the service discovery of Eureka. Server keeps track of all registered services, like the service client, which is our microservices, that is being tracked by our service registry, the Eureka server. Whether it is running, whether it is down, uh, like whether where to send the request, all these things we can keep in the service registry, right? Service that wants to call another, ask Eureka where to find it. So here comes the inter-service communication part. Let's say here are four services A, B, C, and D, and A wants to use some endpoint, let's say slash get of B. So A will be calling those endpoint of B. So what are the options of doing that? One option is, we get the URL or the IP address of the or the domain, whatever it is, of service B, and call from A. But as we have discussed earlier, that might be changing, the IP address or the URL might be changing, right? So that is not an efficient way of calling from service A to service B. So here the service discovery comes to in the picture, where we don't need to worry about what is the IP address of service B, what is the URL of service B. We can get it by the only name of those service, right? So service A needs to communicate with service B. So what the flow will be: service A go to the service registry, finds finds the whatever name of service B which is associated with, and from that it will get the IP address of that. So via service discovery, A will be calling to service B, right? So that is the concept of Feign Client is coming. We will see in the code as well. Like after this, we are going to also create one Eureka service registry as well, and we are going to see how inter-service communication works, right? So that's it. That's about how Eureka works. So, and yeah, like Eureka returns the IP addresses, right? As I have told. So that is the flow of how Eureka is working, and that is very simple, but it is very powerful. What are the advantages of Eureka service discovery? No hard-coded URLs, no, because we can get the information about service by just their names. Load balancing becomes easier. We can integrate Ribbon or Spring Cloud load balancer, right? So like in the service discovery, we can see the how many instances of the services are there, and from that discovery only we can do horizontal scaling. We'll see how we can do, and you will get the idea of how the load balancing can be becoming easier in this way. Services can scale independently. Self-healing, Eureka removes the services that don't send heartbeat. So like how this is working, each service is sending the heartbeat or uh, the monitor regarding that service is running or not, and Eureka checks frequently like whether that service is running, whether that service is healthy or not, right? And if that service is not healthy and that is down, then Eureka removes that service from the discovery. So for example, A want to call service B, but service B is down, so that is not registered in the Eureka server, right? So A will go and find the service in that service discovery about B, but here service B is down, so in the service discovery A is not able to find B. So from that A will directly return and service B will not be called. So that also makes our time saving, and we can know that okay, that service is down, so we have to reactivate it. So that is the advantages of the Eureka. And yeah, let's code. We'll create one Eureka server. We will register two microservices, and we will call one service from another using discovery. So let's get started with coding. As I have already told, we will be coding into the Java Spring Boot, and in IDE I'll be using IntelliJ. You can use any IDE if you are comfortable with, but I would recommend to use IntelliJ only, so because that comes with a lot of features with the Spring Boot. So yeah, let's get started with coding part. So yeah, okay, now coming to the coding part, let's create one Spring Boot application where our Eureka service discovery will be running. So for that you have to go to the Spring initializer, and here you need to make one Spring Boot project. I'll be quickly creating the Spring Boot project. Artifact will be our service discovery, right? And yeah, like data service discovery will be our description, right? And you need to add some dependencies. So one will be Spring Web, let's say Eureka server you need to add, which is by Spring Cloud Netflix. That is one memory package you need to install. And yeah, like if you want to add some Spring Boot dev tools, that also you can do, but that is optional. So let me generate the zip for this, and let me keep this in this my demo app and just save it. And let's unzip it very quickly and run this Spring Boot application. Let me delete this, and yeah, so I need to open this in my IntelliJ IDE. So let me just start the IntelliJ IDE, right? Okay, so yeah, it has been already installed, and let me just check this again. And open it. Yeah, now we are good to go. And yeah, this is the pom.xml, and in the pom.xml you can see the dependency, the net Spring Boot web and Spring. Let me zoom. Okay, so I'm not able to zoom, but yeah, okay, now you can see Spring Cloud Starter, Eureka, and Netflix Eureka Server is there, right? So this is a dependency you need for the Eureka Server, right? And uh, if I go to my Spring Service application, so here you have to, okay, so Maven packages are not installed. Let me check this again. More actions, add Maven dependency, and add this, right? So this will resolve all my dependency, right? And I have to reload, refresh with the Mavens. So here you can see dependencies has been installed. It might take some time. Also I have to add some new annotation, enable. Let's just first install all these dependencies and we will move further. Okay, so yeah, all the dependencies has been resolved. It is still doing its work, so let's wait for some minute, and yeah, I guess we are good to go. So yeah, but you need to add one annotation, enable Eureka Server, which is the annotation in this Netflix Eureka Server. So we, by adding this annotation, your application will know that this is the Eureka Server. And also in the resources you need to add app, application.yml file, YAML or YAML. You can do in the application.properties as well, but I prefer to use application.yml because that becomes easy to read and easy to write as well, right? So in my server I will be adding port address to let's say 8761, which is the standard practice that we all use. And in the Eureka we will be adding Eureka, and the Eureka in the client we will be using register with Eureka to false, right? And also the fetch registry to the false. So what is the reason behind it doing it? uh, because this is our Eureka service discovery, so we need to tell our application that this is not the Eureka client but this is the Eureka server. So that's why we have in a here register with Eureka we have kept false, so that service like Eureka discovery service will not it's register itself to it, right? So yeah, so I think we can run this application and see whether it is running or not. So let's run this service discovery application, and yeah, I guess there is one error. Let me just see is. Okay, so there were some version issue of my Java version in my machine, but I have fixed those issues, and yeah, you can see the server is running on 8761. So let's get let's start this. Just check this, the local host 8761, and yeah, as you can see Spring Eureka has been enabled, and this beautiful page you will be able to see after running your Spring Eureka service registry. And here there are no instances available, as you can see, but once we add more instances you will be able to see all the instances here, and a lot of other things last 100 since startup, all the requested you can see, and some some total available memory, number of CPUs, current memory usage, everything you can monitor on this page. So that is one beneficial thing of using Spring Initializer. So yeah, so now we will create two microservices, and we will register those microservices into our this Spring Boot Eureka server. So let me just create those microservices. Okay, so we'll be keeping in the same project. Let's say we are creating one user service, right? And this is the user service, and here I don't need to uh, add Spring Eureka Server. Instead, I have to use Eureka Discovery Client, right? So that package will be added, and let me just generate it. And yeah, we'll keeping into this user service as the same only. Also, let's just create order service as well, and do the same thing, and let's generate for that as well, right? And let's just create a zip file of both of those, open those, unzip order service and the user service, right? And let me just delete all this. Great. So just again let me go to the IntelliJ, and I have to keep open the entire directory to discover all this. So I'll just closing this and we'll open the demo application only, right? So just let me just open it, and yeah, here you can see Maven build script found. So just load this. So like you will be able to see these blue boxes if you can see. So now like Maven has been recognized, and yeah, like we can run all those together, right? And okay, so we need to do some add some things to in our microservices. So in the service registry we have added enable Eureka Server. Here you will be using enable discovery client, right? So this will be telling our Eureka Server that this is the discovery client, and register this into our Eureka Server. And also we need to add application.yaml. So let me just add that, and we will be running in this, let's say 8081, and this is like Spring application, and we can give the name, and it is user service. So let me just give the user service, and Eureka client register with Eureka. We will be keeping this into the, okay, so that's fine, like by default it's true only. So we'll just keep service URL, and default zone will be the 808761 Eureka. So now from this YML application will understand to register these microservices, right, into our Eureka server. Let's do the same thing with our order service. So I will copy this YML file, and in my resources I will add one new file, that is application.yml, and I'll just copy paste. Just don't forget to change this few minor things, and yeah, we are good to go. And also we need to add this annotation, enable discovery client, right? So now we are good to go, and we can run all these services. And let's first start our service discovery application, and I hope it doesn't give me some error. Okay, so it is running. Let's start with user service. Okay, so it is also running on 8081, and let's get start with order service. So yeah, right. So now if I go to the Eureka, and if I just reload this, I should be getting, yeah. So as you can see, order service and the user service is available in my Eureka registry, and here I can get the IP address from here by just the name of those service, right? Name of the application. So yeah, like that is one beneficial thing of Eureka service discovery, as we have discussed. Okay, so now let's make some endpoint in both of these services. So let me just create one controller, REST controller in the user service. and let's just check whether it is running or not, right? Okay, so in my src main java user service, let me create one package controller, awesome, and which will be our java class user controller, right? And here I'll be adding a rest controller, and the request mapping, let's say users is there, right? And let's create simple get mapping, and public string get user, okay, list of users, and for simplicity let's create from the user service, awesome, right? And let me just reload this again. So now at the user endpoint 8081 we should get that response. So 8081 like what was that, users was there, so let me just list of users from the user service, awesome, right? So that is the response that we got, and that application is running. Now we want to do some inter-service communication, right? And the service, let's say order service is calling user service. How do we do, and how Eureka server can be useful in those scenario? So let's go through that also. We'll be doing that by Feign Client. So for that we have one package open Feign, and this is the package like declarative REST client, and like it's a dynamic implementation of interface decorated with JXRR or Spring MVC annotation, right? So okay, so let me just see this in the explore part, and just copy paste. Okay, so this is the dependency, so I just copy paste into my pom.xml. Let me just small it down, and yeah, let me just add this open Feign in both of them, because I have to use in both. So in my this order service also I have to add open Feign, and let's just do refresh, right? Great. So okay, let's just cover it again. Order service, user services are our two microservices. Service discovery is our Eureka server, which is discovery service where order service and user services are registered with, right? I hope things are clear till now, and yeah, so let's get continue again. Okay, so uh, here in my order service, because I'm doing service communication with this here only, also I need to do enable Feign clients. So yeah, that I need to do, and I need to do Feign client interface. So let me just create one package client, and here I'll be creating one new interface of user client. Okay, so we have created user client, which is what, a Feign client, right? So I need to give annotation Feign client, and I can give name, and URL is, I guess it's fine, because we can directly add here or in the mapping also, so that is like depends on you. And what, because the response is, and here I can add, you can add the because it is get mapping, and here our mapping will be /user. So default mapping was /users only, so I have not given URL. Otherwise you can give URL and like give the URL as well, right? But it's fine. Okay, so now our Feign client, which is user client, is ready, and we can use that in our order service controller. So for that I need to create one new controller. So let me just create controller, and let's just create one JavaScript class order controller, and which is our REST controller, right? And request mapping will be orders, right? And I have to create I have to inject the dependency of the user client, right? So let me just uh, add the dependency of user client. Okay, so variable, okay, so I need to create the controller, so the depend for the dependency injection, right? And let me just create one function, public string get users from user service and users client, right? And the request mapping, let's say we have kept user, all good. Let me quickly revise again what we have done in this, and what we have done so far, right? And let me just check again like whether I've added everything here as well, right? Awesome, right? Good. So what I have done in order service, first of all, I have enabled Feign clients because I want to use Feign client. So what is the client, user client? It is just the interface, because we want to use the endpoint of particular service which is registered in the Eureka. So we have to create one interface of that client, and like let's say if I want to use another mapping, let's say post mapping something, and with another endpoint there is like add user is there, right? So I have to add all this, and here if you can see I haven't given any port address of user service. I have just given a name which is user service. So as we have discussed the benefit of using Eureka discovery, so what this Feign client will do, it will go to service discovery and check the user service, and in that user service it will call for this get mapping of slash users, right? And where I am using this in my controller, in my orders controller slash users, I am calling user client dot get users. So these functions will be called, and this function will call of slash user of user service. So that is the flow of inter-service communication, right? I hope you are getting the idea. And let me just uh, the, regarding this, like let me just update some change. So string for the simplicity, let's say these are the users that I'm getting, and return order service calling user service, right? So so let me just refresh everything again, and now we are going to see some magic, and let's see what happens, right? Right. So let me first go to this Eureka service, everything is running or not. Okay, order service is running, user service is still not coming in this. Let me just refresh again whether it is coming or not. Okay, so I don't know what's the issue here. There is a problem with instance cannot. Okay, so now it should be running. Yeah, so now you can see both of my service, user service and order services, are there. Okay, so in my slash user I was getting this response. Now I will call my this endpoint 8082, which is of order service, and orders slash users. Okay, there is some issue. Let's just go to the order service, and user client does not contain. Okay, so yeah, that like it needs to be run again, because when it was registered user client was not running. And now if I go to this, right, so now it is working. Order service calling user service, list of users from the user service, which is the response of the user service. Awesome, right? We have called user service from our order service, and we have got the response of the endpoint, right? So this is how inter-service communication are done, and benefits you might have got, like why we are using Eureka server and why we are using service discoveries. So I hope you liked the video, uh, and in the next video we are going to see about API gateways, why we need to use API gateways. So yeah, for this video I am keeping only this thing. I have kept things simple for the understanding, but we will, as we move further, we are going to explore more and more, and yeah, we'll learn a lot of new things. So thank you for watching till now.